we move from the Middle East across to China in Asia for the Chinese Grand Prix Round 3 of the 2018 season here at the Shanghai International Circuit, the 30th time the Chinese Grand Prix has been held in the OC, the second of 9 tracks that have been on the OC calendar every season since it started back in 2006. 7 teams have won here over the past 12 seasons, with McLaren winning the most ahead of Ferrari in second, with Renault, Brawn, Red Bull, Lotus and Williams all tied on 1. So far this season, it's been Mercedes, i.e. Franco Lopez, who's dominated the championship so far, winning the first 2 races by comfortable margins in both Australia and Bahrain. Previous winners here have included Florian Volker, Joseph Willows, Roman Quagg, Robbie Nescu, Evan Byrne, James Willers, Miklos Gau. We've had a whole host of winners here, but can Franco Lopez make it 3 in a row and take his first win here at the Chinese Grand Prix? The circuit length is 5.451 kilometers, 16 corners, 56 laps. The lap record set by Franco Lopez, as a matter of fact, last season, 132.132. I mean, the omens are good here, so you never know. But anyway, the tyres we're using will be the soft tyres for this race. And the driver of the day from last time out was Franco Lopez, no surprise, with a fantastic performance for Mercedes. So here, anyway, is the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. And on pole position today, it is Amar Kar for Ferrari, ahead of Florian Volker, second position for Mercedes. Now on row 2 of the grid, we have Joseph Williams for Ferrari and Miklos Gau fourth for Red Bull. On row 3 of the grid, 5th and 6th places respectively, we have Franco Lopez and Franco Gamba, the 2 Francos, 5th and 6th in the grid. Not the best qualifying for Franco Lopez, but a great qualifying by Franco Gamba as well. Joel Hutter down in 7th position, not the best from him. Thierry now turning, good qualifying by him as well in 8th position. On row 5 of the grid, we have Laura Chung in front of her home crowd, 9th position, she'll be happy with that, and Jay McKenzie at 10th. On row 6 of the grid, we have Evan Byrne for Renault and George Roque for Haas. Roque had an exceptional qualifying last time out in Bahrain, qualifying 3rd. 13th place is Gabriel Gomez, 14th place is Roland Moitin, that is row 7 of the grid. Row 8 of the grid is Roberto Gamba and Maxime Titkov for McLaren and Manor respectively. On row 9 of the grid, 17th and 18th, we have Lean Kapana for Williams and Enis Barachki, 18th position. On row 10 of the grid, we have Paulino Tomaselli and Carroza de Rosa for Sauber and McLaren respectively. Of course, it was a wet qualifying, which only wet all over, really, in qualifying. And on the final row of the grid, we have Felix Sontag and Etienne Jones for Williams and Manor respectively. So weather-wise for this race, unlike qualifying, it will be a dry race all the way through. So this is going to be absolutely fascinating to see how this goes. And normally we've had chaotic races here before, so it's going to be very interesting to see, can Ferrari take their first victory of the season, or can Volker ensure that Mercedes will have dominated all 3 races of the season so far. We have 5 lights that are now coming on here in China. The 5 lights are now on, and we're underway here in China, and it looks like Carr has made the best start, heading towards the first corner. Is Volker alongside him? Although Volker actually might have taken the lead. Hold on a second, and I think Volker's on the inside, unless Carr can hold it around the outside. It's a long first corner, all the way to the right, but Carr might now have the line into the left. And will he take the lead back? Yes, he does. So Carr, who looked like he lost it to Volker off the line, who had got a slightly better jump, has taken the lead back here in China. So well done to Carr. Volker dropping a little bit behind there. So they head towards the next turn. This corner is where there's usually chaos every season. Something normally happens. And I thought that, oh, yep, something has happened. And Gabriel Gomez has been hit from behind. I think both Saubers are actually involved, so that's not a good sign. So what on earth has happened? So Gabriel Gomez is involved, Tomaselli is involved, Titkov I think has been involved, Roque has been involved as well. There's a whole host of cars. So let's see what happened. We're on board with Paulino Tomaselli here in 18th position, coming up to the cursed corner, as I like to call it. And did he go into the back of the McLaren? Yes, he did. He went into the back of the McLaren, who went actually in the back of the Toro Rosso. Maxime Titkov as well. He went into Gabriel Gomez. That's what caused the incident ahead, and that's what caused him to go into George Roque as well. So unfortunately for Roque being caught again. It happened exactly at the same corner last season for Roque on the first lap. So deja vu for Roque there once again. But so far, Carr leading ahead of Volker in second. Willows is in 3rd position as they head towards turn 14. At the end of the long back straight, seems eternally long from this camera angle. Joel Hutter's on the inside of Franco Lopez here, and is trying to get 5th position into the hairpin. Has he made it stick? The answer is no, he has not. Now Turin battling with Laura Chung, who's trying to go around the outside of the corner, but I think now Turin has got the run and has got the position, and Chung can't get past, but so far she'll want to do well in front of her home crowd. But at the moment Carr leads on the first lap, 2nd is Lopez, 3rd is Willows, 4th is the Red Bull of Gao. Now Chung once again trying to get on the inside, now turning into the first corner Can she make the move stick? I'm not sure if she can. Nope, she backs out of it. So look at all the rest of the cars coming through. Several cars, of course, going into the pit. Titkoff, Roque, Tomaselli, Gomez, and obviously for Sauber it's going to be a double stack. So Gomez, unfortunately, is going to lose out badly in that is for sure. Car already making a gap to Volker, which is a good sign. Now here is Moitin on the back of Mackenzie. This is the battle for 11th position. And now Parechki's right there as well. Now Chung still going to be under pressure from Chung behind. Going to the back straight, and now Chung has got the run off the corner and the slipstream. He's going to try and go past the Mercedes, but will the Mercedes power keep now turning in front? You can see him just edging in front, and Chung is not going to be able to make the mistake unless she makes a late move into the hairpin, and no she doesn't. This is Mackenzie and Moitin battling for 11th position. I think Moitin has got through past Mackenzie. There's a battle behind. There's Roberto Gamba battling with Parechki, and he's made the move stick on the Macedonian and is up into 13th position. So good move there by Roberto Gamba. Looking at this move, so he was quite far behind, but look at the slipstream, 326 km an hour, over 200, and Parechki really tried to defend, but Gamba had the slipstream, had the momentum, was already on the inside, and took the position there. Good job there by the Italian. So he is through, up another position, but now Parechki is going to be right on the back of Roberto Gamba onto the front straight here, so he might try and get the position straight back, and you can see actually Carl's extended his lead to 3.2 seconds ahead of Volker in second, so looks like Carl might be on light fuel load, and look at that, Parechki gets the position straight back from Roberto Gamba, so he's back up into 30th position. As they head through the first corner, Gamba goes a little bit wide there, and so that's going to lose a little bit of momentum. Parechki will try and gain up to the cars in front. Willow's not really getting close to Volker. Gal seems to be getting fairly close to him. Lopez kind of on his own. Then there's Hutter, and then there's Franco Gamba as well. So there's cars definitely in spacing out, social distancing at this moment in time, although Gal is creeping closer to the back of Willis, it seems, and Lopez, again, he's the one in the perfect social distance, really. Got car not too far ahead of him and car not too far behind him, so he's in the perfect gap, I think. But at the moment, the gap car to Volker is 3.7 seconds, and Carl's fuel load is pretty low. Volker's is a little bit higher than his. Lopez has got a fairly heavy fuel load. Gal's is pretty light. Now here is Chung and now Tiernan once again going on. It's been happening since the first lap, and Chung is going to try yet again on the front straight, but she's got to know that the power of that car is no match for the power of the pink Mercedes coming into the hairpin. And once again she fails to do it, and she's going to have to think of something else or do something else to be able to make the move. Now here's Roberto Gamba and Parechki once again battling for 13th, and Gamba's going to take the position back past Parechki, and now he moves back up into P13 around the hairpin at turn 14. As we look through and look at Parechki trying to keep behind Roberto Gamba, although he's not going to be able to make the move straight away back into the first corner. He's too far behind there, but he could still easily catch up if Roberto Gamba makes a mistake. But a good battle there for 13th position. So Volker seems to, again, just seems to be slightly edging away from Willows, who himself is, I think, definitely getting reeled in by Gal. And there's Roberto Gamba, actually, who does make a slight mistake into the first corner, as I did actually say he could do, and that's going to allow Parechki to close back on him, but he might be closing back onto the back of Mackenzie. We're looking through all the cars in the field. There's Roque down in 19th. Chong's still unable to get past now Tiernan. She said she's going to have to do it at the pit stops because she's not going to be able to do it on the straights because she's clearly not got enough speed in that car. Now, speaking of speed, Miguel Scow is quicker, it seems, than Willows. He's on the back of him. They're about to head on to the back straight, and Willows moves to the left. It's going to compromise his run through the corner. That's going to allow Gal to surely make a move coming through into turn 14 as he comes through turn 13. Is he in the slipstream? I don't know if he's quite close enough. Is he? I'm not sure. I think he needs to be a tiny bit closer, and he would be in the slipstream, but he's not. So he's going to have to stay behind him, I think, unless he makes an unbelievable late dive bomb into the corner. Now here is Chung once again trying on the back of now Tiernan. It's clearly not going to work, but she's gone a little bit early now, which means she could slot back in the slipstream, and then she might try it into the hairpin. Now here we go. Gets a little bit more slipstream. Will she try and make it into the corner? No, now Tiernan blocks it off, and they're not going to be happy, the Chinese fans. And now here is the battle for 10th. This is Moitin going past Evan Byrne. Now he's up into 10th, and actually now Tiernan could help his teammate here because he's still holding up Chung, and Chung could be under pressure from Moitin soon if he can catch up as well. So still loads of good battles, and actually Roberto Gamba has actually passed Jay Mackenzie in the Renault. That is for 12th position into turn 14 into the hairpin. And now Parechki actually did briefly get on the inside but didn't have the run off the corner. Now here we go, Chung once again trying on the inside, and if it doesn't work, try and try again. I think I said it more than 6 times, which is what I hope for, but anyway, Chung is now on the inside and she might actually do it this time. And the answer is yes, she's finally done it, and the crowd goes absolutely wild as she finally makes it up into 8th position. But now Tyrion is going to be right on her back and could try and take the position back immediately. Now here is Gal once again on the back of Willows. Is he close enough this time to be in the slipstream? I think he is. He's definitely closer than before. So I think this could be the move for Gal. He's definitely in the slipstream now. Here we go. Gal making a move on the inside of Willows. And look at the speed the Red Bull is getting as he goes alongside the Ferrari of Willows. And surely this is going to be P3 for him. Side by side down the back straight, heading in towards turn 14. And Gal is through up into P3. He's got light fuel. It's probably why he's as fast. But he's doing a good job though. Car. Actually, this gap is 7.5 seconds to Volker, so he really is extending that gap. Now here's Byrne. The two Renaults seemingly struggling for pace now. They're falling really far back at this moment in time. Vertigama now on the inside. No, he's not actually. I thought he would try and make it through past Byrne, but not quite. And nearly contact there as they come through the hairpin. But now, of course, he's got Parachki, who's not too far behind either, who's waiting on these two to mess up. I think Mackenzie went very wide, and he did, and that's allowed Jones to go by. So Jay Mackenzie is having a terrible race so far, absolutely dreadful. And Jones was all over the back. And was there actually contact made between the two? No, it's actually just Mackenzie went wide and got a terrible exit through, and Jones said thank you very much, took the position. Now this was Byrne, and I think was he overtaken by Roberto Gamba? Oh, he's got a little bit wide, and he's got onto the grass, and I think that's Roberto Gamba through. Yep, he's through, no contact made. Does Byrne spin the car? I'm not sure, but I think does Parachki make his way through as well. You see Byrne just going too wide onto the grass, and I think Parachki goes through, and yes he does, he moves up into 12th position. So Renault having a dreadful race so far. Now here is Amar Kar, who's coming into the pits for his first stop of the race, and let's see where he comes out on track. So far he's got the gap to Volker, nearly 10 seconds, and that's pretty impressive from Kar. Shown some great pace so far in this race, and it kind of rhyme. But anyway, so making the pit stop, pretty quick that was by Ferrari, unlike Sebastian Vettel's stop in the San Marino Grand Prix. But anyway, 5.5 seconds I think that is. That is pretty fast, I have to say. But as we look at Kar coming out of the pits, where does he come out? Does he come out in traffic? No, and Chung, that was very, very close. I think will Kar come out ahead of Chung? This could be important for him, and he does just about. That was insanely close. Came out at exactly the wrong time, but fortunately Chung is still in the race. But Kar fortunately comes out in clear air, which will be important for him, because it looks like he's probably doing the 3-stop, and that definitely caught Laura Chung out by surprise, seeing Kar coming out of the pits there, and the car stays ahead, and now he will go after Franco Gambra in front of him. Now Nicolas Gal goes into the pits, so let's see how quick his stop will be. So possibly he might be doing the 3 as well. It's not a particularly long race, but you never know if it can work or not. So in he comes. Volker now leading ahead of Willows and Lopez in 3rd. Lopez not showing as much pace as he has done in the first 2 races. He has had a certain bit of luck, but to be honest, he's by far the quickest driver anyway. Pretty quick stop from Red Bull. Slightly slower than Ferraris. So let's see him coming out of the pits. Where does he come out? He'll come up behind Chung, behind now Turin, I think behind Moitin as well. Yes, he comes out in the last points position in 10th. So he comes out in clear air though, Gal, so that is still important for him, which is good. But I'll have to hope that the cars in front of him, the 2 pink Mercedes, get out of his way. And I don't know if they will do that or not. But here's Franco Lopez, right now running in 3rd position. And so far having just an uneventful race, just on his own, just chilling, having a nice Sunday drive around Shanghai. Parachki is also in the pits on this lap as well, so he's dropping down further down the order, down behind Sontag, behind Roque, down in 19th position at this moment in time. The gap between Lopez and Hutter is down slightly to 1.5. Now Kar is up onto the back of Franco Gamba, who himself is having a pretty solid race at this moment in time in 5th position, but he's been on his own, but so far he's having a pretty good race. But Kar is alongside, or just about alongside the Haas. He's just slightly behind, I think, but Kar will probably make this move into the hairpin, will he, unless the Haas just edging in front. Kar on the inside, does he go for it? And yes he does, and he makes the move up into P5, so that's good news for Kar. Means he doesn't have to deal with any traffic at the moment, he's in clear air, so that's important for him. So the gap to Hutter is about 7 seconds, and Hutter I imagine will be pitting probably in a few laps. So far for Kar, this is working pretty well for him. As one time dealt with the traffic, fortunately got ahead of Chung, so that could have ended horribly. Now here is Byrne under pressure from Jones, who's trying to make another move on the inside of another Renault, coming into the hairpin. There's Oh, there's a slight bit of contact, and Jones is through. Byrne dropping down, as I said. Renault are having a god-awful race, that is for sure, being overtaken by the manner of Jones. And you can see there was a little bit of contact right about, where was it? It was right there. There was the contact, and fortunately they got away, no damage done, which is a relief, that is for sure. You can see right there the contacts, and right there it is. There is the contact. So there we go. And now here is Gal, who is trying to go past one of the pink Mercedes. This is Roland Moitin. He's not going to be close enough here. He's going to have to go to the slipstream, then dip back out onto the right, which he does, and he's set to go past the Force India. He's on the inside, and this should be the move done, is it? No, actually it's not. Gal doesn't make the move stick. I really thought he would get it done there, but that's not good for him, although Moitin gets a poor run out of the corner, but he sticks ahead of Gal. Although actually he pits this lap, as a matter of fact, so there we go. Gal is free of him. Now can go after the other Mercedes of now Tyrrell just in front. So here we are once again looking at Franco Lopez. So it looks like he's probably doing a two-stopper. Hutter is definitely gaining on him, actually. He's now down to 1.3 seconds. Volker to Willows, gap about 2.2. That's about roughly what it's been ever since Volker took the lead. So it's been about the same. So we look at the order at the moment. Chung right now running in 7th place. Good news for the Chinese fans. Gao in 9th. He'll be closing up to now Turner pretty soon. Roberto Gamber at the moment in 10th. Sontag is in the pits. Byrne is up to 11th. And now Volker actually coming up to the back of this Alfa Romeo. I believe this is Gabriel Gomez, who of course unfortunately was behind Tomaselli in the pit stop. So the bad news for him of course is that he's stone dead last, and there's not really much he can do about it. So here we are looking at Laura Chung, who actually is going to be pitting this lap. Now here is Gal, who's on the back of now Turin, who's surely going to make a move on the back straight. Now Turin defends to the left, gets a bad run through the corner there, coming through turn 12, now coming through turn 13 through the right-hander onto the back straight, and surely Gal should get this done pretty quickly and efficiently. As now Turin goes a little bit wide there, although Gal's not in the slipstream, which he'll need to be, which he does go in now. And he'll now go to the right. He's got the speed, and this should be the move done, is he, for Gal? Although the Mercedes does have speed, and Gal on the inside, and yes, Gal will get the position ahead of now Sheridan. So he's now up into 8th position. So there we go, good move. Now Laura Chung is in the pits for Toro Rosso. So let's see how he will do. And there we go. She's in the pits for her first pit stop of the race. So far, Laura Chung has had a solid race. So in the pits, there we go, changing all 4 tyres.
Okay, no pressure.
And
just prepare yourself for the first gear. First gear.
There we go, good stop for Laura Chung, and she comes out of the pits. And fairly quick, relatively quick stop anyway. So where will she come out onto the circuit is the big question. She's going to come out in 12th position, no, 13th actually, behind Lean Campana, so actually 14th as a matter of fact. Oh, now here is Carr actually, who's caught up to the back of Joel Hutter here, coming through turn 12 and now 13. I think has Carr made the move stick, he's got the run round the outside, like your favourite Eminem song, and I think Carr has got the move done, and that's a great move by Omar Carr. Just does it round the outside of Hutter, who's not expecting that, went wide, and Carr just took the position there, almost like stealing candy from a baby. So see, Carl on the fresh tyres just so much more quicker, got a much better run through the corner than Hutter did, and Hutter did try and defend to the inside, and Carl was having none of that. He was getting that move done, and Hutter went wide, and Carl just with the fresher tyres around the outside had the better run off the corner and took the position of 4th. So good move there by Omar Carr, really showing why he deserved that Ferrari seat. You can see him going around the outside there, look at that, absolutely fantastic, and makes the move up into 4th position. Now here we are looking at Joseph Willows right now in 2nd position, still a little bit behind Volker, and actually here is Carr, who's already caught up to the back of Franco Lopez, and he's already on the inside of the Mercedes heading towards turn 14, the hairpin. So wow, Omar Carr is on an absolute mission right now, and he's on the inside of Lopez, and he's going to make it stick as actually Lopez locks up into the hairpin there, and Carr finally does make the move stick. So he's up into that position, so he's up in onto the podium. So good job there by Omar Carr. As we look at the rest of the field, so looking through, Gal's up to 7th, he's behind Franco Gamba, There's Evan Byrne in the points, but Roberta Gabber's closing up behind him. I think actually Chung's got past Lean Campana actually, because she was behind him after the stop. And here we are, look at Santo right now running on in 20th, Thomas City 21st so far. Both Salvers are running at the back of the grid, so it's a pretty poor race from them really. Volker, the gap Will is actually down to 1.5 seconds, and actually Volker is going to be pitting this lap. Carr goes past Gabriel Gomez to lap him. I said Lopez is really struggling at the moment in this race, but Volker's going to be pitting. Carr is going to get Willers very soon, and I imagine Willers will just let him go through. And as we see Volker coming around, so lap 19, so it will definitely be a 2-stop for him. So as you look at him coming round, heading towards turn 12, and then he's going to come through turn 12, and now through the long turn 13. Well, actually, how long Willows is going, is we have a yellow flag out on the circuit. Oh, Laura Chung's around, and Laura Chung has spun. What has happened to her? Has she made a mistake? And that is, I think, at turn 1, I believe, and yes, it is. So what has happened to Laura Chung, who's having a good race, and unfortunately, she's thrown it all away, and it looks to be a mistake of her own, I think. There was no other cars around, and she just goes wide at the first corner. We've seen this happen so many times over the years, and she has thrown, and she's gone off, and she's thrown away what could be some big points for her in front of her home crowd, and she goes into the gravel, but fortunately she does get out of it and rejoin. Now here we are looking at Armar Carr, who's on the back of Willows. This is now the battle for the lead because Volker has gone into the pits. So Carr's going to try and go around the outside of Willows, is he? No, he's going to swap to the inside. Will Willows let him through? And maybe yes, no. I think Carr's on the inside, so I think, yep, Carr's got the move done now, surely. Yes, and Willows doesn't make it too hard for him, and now Carr retakes the lead of this race, although Willows is still trying to keep it there. But Carr will have the run off the corner, and that's the position for him, and he's got it. There we go. He's up into first position. So there we are, and as we look at this is the move again. So Carr was on the inside, and I thought for a second then Willows was trying to keep it round the what was going to be the inside for the next corner, and he did try, but Carr had the speed and had the run off the corner, but also had the fresher tyres, of course. Willows, it looks to be actually going for the 1-stop, I think, actually. He's still got a lot of fuel left to go, so he might be doing the 1 here. Gal right now has finally got past Franco Gabba, who himself is pitting. Volker's now in 7th, having pitted. Now Franco Gabba is in the pits. And so let's see where he comes out onto the track. So he comes in for his first stop. And so let's see. He is going to come out. Or once he makes a stop, it depends if the Haas pit crew actually manage to do his pit stop right. So he's in. They're changing all 4 tyres.
Okay, no pressure.
And let's see
just prepare yourself for the first
where he
gear.
comes out onto the circuit. So it looks
First
to be, is that a 2-stop? I think that is a 2-stop. Breaking out will be pitting later on. And so out of the pits he will come. And so as we're looking through the rest of the field, there's Laura Chung right down in 14th position. And oh my word, what is happening here? And was 4 wide. Oh my, what on earth was that? What just happened there? So Lean Campana was in 14th. He had Rogue behind him, and the two Toro Rossos of Parachki and Gamba, and it was almost 3 wide heading into turn 14. You can't really see it from there. Well, you could just about see it there, 4 wide. So Rogue was in the middle. Campana lost out badly there. I think Chung got through all of them. I don't know how they avoided contact, but here we are. I think Chung, I'm pretty sure, just made one of the best overtake. I think Laura Chung has just passed 3 cars in 1 corner there. So here we go. So he's on the inside of Parachki, gets past him, gets the run off the corners alongside both Rogue and Campana, and Laura Chung, I think, has just made one of the best moves I've ever seen in front of her own crowd. I mean, you don't get much better than that, and she's done it. That is quite incredible what I've just witnessed there. That's definitely one of the best overtaking moves that I have ever seen. Absolutely ridiculous there from Laura Chung. Fair play to her, because that is, I mean, that's just amazing. Whoa, and she nearly makes contact actually. Oh no! And Che McKenzie, when it rains it pours, and a mistake there by the Polish driver under pressure from Chung, and he's lost his front wing now, so he is going to be at the back of the field, and I think that is going to eliminate any chance that he has of any point. You see, he just goes over the curb and loses the wing. Now here is Roland Moitian behind, this is Carosma de Rosa, the McLaren, in 11th place. He's going alongside the McLaren, and he's surely going to make the move coming into the hairpin. So at the moment, Carr leading, the gap to Willows is 5 seconds. And so Moichin is through up to 11th, and he's got Byrne in front of him, and I think now Turinen's teammate is in, and yes, it is correct. Now Turinen is in the pits, and there we go. As we look at Prachki, and I think Roke's actually got past. Well, I think he was actually up to 40th anyway. Sorry. Now Turinen comes out of the pits, and where will he come out? Actually, will he come out ahead of that big gaggle of cars? The answer is, well, he does come out. He's going to come out, I think, in the middle of it. So now Turinen might have his work cut out here. Comes out of the pits in 14th. He's behind Roke. He's going to come out ahead of Campana. The answer is yes, no. I think yes, he might do. Yep. He's on the inside of Campana, and he does stay ahead of him, which is crucial. And Parachki is going to try and go around Campana, round the outside, and he might actually lose the position to Etienne Jones here. Just sneaks through, and that's a great move by Etienne Jones. If he's made it stick, has he? Yes, it's always still side by side between the two. And I think, no, he's not made it stick. Parachki has got the inside for the next corner. And as I say that, Jones is going to go around the outside. I think he's going to do the move. And yes, he has. So good move there by Etienne Jones. Fair play to him. A great battle there between him and Parachki, taking advantage of Parachki being a bit cautious around where Lean Campana was, and he tried to go around the outside there, and he just forgot Jones was there, and Jones was like, yeah, I'll take that position, thank you. And he made the move on the inside, and Parachki, I thought he'd made the move back. It was side by side between the two, and I thought he had it there. He was on the inside, but Jones just did him around the outside. And look at that, gets the run off the corner. Great overtake there by Etienne Jones. I have to say, Parachki probably been made a bit of a mug there, I think, really. But as we look at Joel Hatter coming in for his first stop of the race for Red Bull, and changing all 4 tyres, not been quite on the pace as his teammate Gal, but so far Hatter has definitely been on match with Gal, because people were still stunned to this day that he got the Red Bull seat. So he's really going to have to prove a lot. Now here is Rodemoitian battling with Evan Byrne, and this is for 9th position. And he's going to be on the inside, and he's surely going to make the move stick. And I think there's a Toro Rosso alongside a McLaren as well, and there is. But Moitian does make it through up into P9, and the battle behind, Chung couldn't quite get past the McLaren there. I think that was George Roke who's coming into the pits behind. And as we look at Chung in the slipstream of De Rosa, and Roberto Gamma is actually in the pits as well for McLaren. And as we look at Chung now trying to get on the inside of Roberta Gamma, is she going to make it stick into the first corner? And maybe, yes, I think she's on the inside just about. Side by side between the two. And no, Roberta Gamma gets De Rosa gets the run around the outside, now on the inside for the next corner. And he keeps position. This is the battle for 10th position, but of course now they've got Turinen, who's on fresher tyres, and he might try and go around the outside of Chung. He can't quite do it. Chung holds her own. And, De Rosa goes a little bit wide there, goes to the curb. Will there be any more damage? No, I don't think there was. Chung is through, now Turinen is through as well. And now Turinen is all over the back of Chung. Parachki is all over the back of Lean Campana there, I think. And this is the battle for 10th position. So it's been great battles throughout the race so far. Titkoff is in the pits, but he's down the back, so it doesn't really matter. But at the moment, car, so the gap is 9 seconds. He really is strolling. He's showing great pace in that Ferrari. And as we look at now Turn, he's surely going to make a move on Chung down the back straight as they come through the right hand. Although I don't know if he's quite in a slipstream, although I think she might actually have the slipstream of the car in front, which is the Renault. I don't think, is she quite close enough? I'm not sure. Franco Lopez is coming into the pit this lap as well. As we look at Willis, who's actually lapped Mackenzie, and I bet Mackenzie still can't believe, of course, he's in that Renault and not the Mercedes. But as we're looking at Franco Gamba, looking through at Chung, now Turn battling for 10th position. Campana still holding his own in this battle with Enish Barachki, but of course Roberto Gamba's there as well. Sontag having a very lonely race at the back there. And as we look through the order, there's a Titkoff who's 22nd. Oh no! And that's why, because he made contact with Tomaselli, and they both go off. It's been a horrible race for both Sauer's been involved in an incident, and unfortunately for Tomaselli, it's happened to him again. And the incident between the two, Titkoff and Tomaselli, will be under investigation. So, I mean, you could say probably Tomaselli moved in front of Titkoff when he wasn't expecting it, and they made contact. I think that was pretty inevitable. Unfortunate incident between the two. Now we are looking at Franco Lopez, who is in the pits for his, I think that's his first stop of the race. I don't think he's been another stop. No, I think this is his first stop, I'm pretty sure. And let's see. He definitely won't go to the end on this set of tyres, I'm sure. No, he doesn't. So he will be doing a two-stopper. I think two-stopper is, well, I mean, the three-stopper, well, I say two-stopper is the best around here. I mean, Carl's done the three, and he's making it work. Willows at the moment is still in P2 and is yet to make a stop, so it'll be interesting to see actually how he does on the one-stop. He's one of the only drivers, I think, in this field who's yet to stop. He's now the only driver in the top 10 who is yet to stop. Now here is now Turner battling with Chung. Now Turner is on the inside and is through, heading towards the hairpin, although Chung might try and get it back here. Will she go for it? And she's on the inside, and she gets the position straight back off now Turner. Fantastic battle and great attacking there from Laura Chung. She's back up ahead of now Turner. Now Turner will not be happy that he's been kind of mugged off there. Bratchkin and Roberta Gamma battling, and I think they've Roberta Gamma's finally got through, and I think they've also got past Lean Campana in the process. And so that's a great battle as well. Now Turn passes back Chung into the first corner and moves up into 9th position. But Chung is definitely having a lot of fun in this race and proving why she should be on the top tier grid. And I'm surprised Chung didn't really put on much more of a defence really, but I suppose now Turn does have the fresher tyres and technically also does have the quicker car. But I think it's good for her to battle though with a car that's much quicker. Now Carr is into his second stop. So Joseph Willows, having not stopped, will retake the lead of this race, and Carr will come out behind, that is Florian Volker in 4th position, but he's going to be in fresh air as well. So far everything's working to perfection for Carr. Now up into the second part of the race. We're now halfway through the Chinese Grand Prix. Now here is the battle to not be last. This is between Titkoff and Tomaselli once again battling, and as I said, actually there's also still 22 cars running, and he's on the inside, is Titkoff, and he's now officially not last. Tomaselli is last, and he won't want to be the driver who finishes in last position, and of course these two are battling once again. So here we go. Will Tomaselli try and get back on Titkoff? I don't think he's actually quite close enough. He's not in the slipstream on the straight there, so good move there by Titkoff. So he moves up into 21st and not last. Now here's the battle between the two McLarens. This is Gamba trying to get past his teammate De Rosa. They're on the front straight heading towards the hairpin. I don't think he's quite got the run on his teammate there. And no, Roberto Gamba cannot make it stick. Or will he try? Oh, hold on. Will he try and go for it? No, he'll still go for it. Oh my word. Oh, phew. I really thought he was about to go to the back of that Renault there of Byrne. Fortunately, that didn't happen, and I am so relieved because I really thought it was going to happen. But Byrne also got a terrible run through the corner. Now here's now Turin, who's got at the back of Moichin, his teammate, and it's set to go past him down the straight. Look at the speed, and now Turin has got, and he's going to pass his teammate Moichin with ease, heading towards the hairpin, and this is a move for 8th position, and a good move at that as well. So there we go. He moves up into the top 10. Now here we are looking at Roberto Gamba, who is trying to make a move on Evan Byrne. This is for 12th position. Can he make the move stick? And the answer is, oh, not quite. There was nearly contact. They got away with it, fortunately. That could have been very, very close. But it was very close, but I should say that could have been very deadly. Fortunately, it wasn't. As I said, Willows at the moment, he's doing pretty well, actually, on the one stop, because most of the drivers around him are, well, all the drivers around are going to have to make another stop. So it's going to be very interesting for him, as he's now trying it, and he's through. And Evan Byrne has been passed by Roberto Gamba. We've got another yellow flag out. And oh, Miglas Gal is out, and Miglas Gal is out of the race. Any chance of a good result, top 5 / podium, has gone, and he is the first retirement of the Chinese Grand Prix halfway through the race, and so he is out. And looks like, I think it looks to be a mechanical failure, I believe, and so that is not good at all. So he is out of the Chinese Grand Prix. His car on his own there, as you can see. So there we are. He is out. He'll be pretty disappointed. Joel Hutter will, of course, secretly be very delighted. And it was a transmission failure that caused Gal's retirement. He was running, of course, in P2. And he was actually... oh, no, he was pitting this lap as well. He was pitting on the same lap as his car broke down on him. And Willis is going to be mightily relieved up front. He's actually doing pretty well on the one stop. So it looks like it's going to be the two Ferraris that are battling. And, wow, there we go. The car failing on Gal, coming onto the back straight when he was looking in a very promising position. You really got a feel for the guy, you really do. And I was wondering for a while, where is he parked that car? I have no idea where that is. But it was on the back straight, so that is unfortunate for him. So there we are. As here we are looking at De Rosa, who is once again on the back of Byrne. The yellow flag is gone. They've removed Gal's car. Now here is De Rosa on the back of Byrne. The two Renaults are sitting ducks. Really, it's quite funny because their cars are yellow, so they are, you know, they are ducks really. But well, can De Rosa make it through though? And the answer is yes. Yes, he can. And whoa, there was nearly contact there as well. That was insanely close. But said that the Renault just have got no pace in the car whatsoever. They're both really struggling at this moment in time. As we look at Byrne, who's going to try and get past De Rosa, who got a terrible run through the final corner, but he's not going to do it around the outside there. He's going to swap to the inside. Byrne might try and get the position back here. And the answer is no, he doesn't, although he goes quite wide, does De Rosa, but I think he'll have the run into the corner. And actually, George Rogue is actually closing onto the back of them as well. And Joseph Willows finally comes into the pits, and I think it's been a pretty good stint, I have to say, for Joseph Willows. So he's going to come in from the lead of this race, and he's going to relinquish it to Florian Volker in the Mercedes behind. So, of course, teammates for a while, of course, Willows and Volker, and it must be pretty unusual for him that Volker's not there, and of course he's got Carr there, but... So, of course, Willows will go to the end of this race. We'll see what his pace will be now, because he's actually on lighter fuel than what he was on. So, here we go. So, where will Willows actually come out? So he's going to come out, it looks like P5, so, well, at the moment he's P5, and there's Titkoff. So, I think Willows actually is going to be clear air, so let's see what Willows can do. It looks like it's probably going to be a battle between the two Ferraris for the win today, but Willows crucially is in clear air apart from one lapped car. And actually, speaking of the Ferrari's car is closing onto the back of Florian Volker. He might hope that Volker does Willows a favour, really, his old teammate and everything, but I imagine Volker probably wants to win, but at the moment Carr is looking the favourite. But I think Carr will definitely come out, I think, behind Willows when he pits, although it depends on the pace of Carr really, but it depends on the pace of Willows as well. But I think Carr probably will come out behind Willows, but he will be much faster, so I think Carr probably is still the favourite at this moment in time, and he's set to go past Volker as they're coming onto the front straight, so Carr might be making it easier for himself and having less work to do, although the Mercedes engine is just about still edging in front. And is Carr still going to make the move? And yes, Carr still does make it down the inside, and Armour Car takes the lead of this race. So Volker didn't really have much for defence. So as I said, the fascinating thing is, what is the pace of Willows? That is going to be the interesting thing, because Carr has looked in a pretty assailable position this race, and nothing has really come close to stopping him. Here is Titkoff, who locks up coming into the hairpin. They're struggling in that car. He's got the blue flag out, of course, for Willows, who is just coming up, you can see, through the corner now. Titkoff, who is going to be pitting as well before the end, but Willows, as I said, is on his own at this moment in time, and that's good news for him as well. So there we are. I'd say it's just going to be so interesting to see what the end of this race is going to be like. Volker is, well, I was about to say he's closing, but here's actually Laura Chong making yet another move, and he's trying to go past the Force India of the Toro Rosso, trying to pass the Force India. It's almost deja vu, but this time Chong's passing Moichin. And, ooh, that was close, but Chung is through, and the crowd once again goes absolutely wild. And there we go, Chung is through, having a great race in the Toro Rosso, but you think he probably could have finished higher, as, whoa, Roberto Cameron Jones coming close to contact there as well. I think it probably could have been higher had she not had that spin by herself at the first corner. The only blip she's had this race. Apart from that, she's looked very fast and very quick. And so, as we look at Roke there, just you can see in the background is Roberto Cameron once again trying on the inside of Jones into the first corner, and has he made it stick? It's side by side, but Gamba has made it through, unless Jones can get it back around the outside, which he can't. So Roberto Gamba is through. Jones is in 11th. He's hovering around the points, so it's, points are definitely a distinct possibility. Now here is Jay McKenzie battling with Felix Sontag in the Williams, who we haven't seen at all this race, been pretty invisible. With McKenzie, his races went from bad to worse, so it's been a pretty dreadful race for McKenzie as well. But McKenzie does make it through on the inside. Nearly contact, but they make it through cleanly. Of course, they'll have to let the faster cars come through, hence the blue on their dash, on the def panel. But as you look, the gap car to Volker's 3.6, Hutter 5 seconds away, Lopez 2 seconds away, Willows 10 seconds away. So I don't know actually. I mean, maybe Carr could probably. It's going to be close, but I think if Carr does come up behind Willows, he'll be like about 2 or 3 seconds behind. So I think still Carr is the favourite, I believe. And here we are looking at Evan Byrne coming out of the pits, and the incident between and Maxime Titkoff and Paolino Tomaselli has been concluded to just be a racing incident. So, as we look at Hutter in P3, there's Lopez right now running in P4, just not quite being able to get to the back of Hutter. Willows in P5. So Burn, of course, will be on fresher tyres before the end of the race, so I think he probably will get away from Willows. Now turning the 7th, and I wonder if Chung is going to be closing down on her. Chung, if she is going to be closing down on him. As we look at Roke on the back of Etienne Jones, and Roke, who of course had been run into on the first lap, he's put in a pretty good recovery actually. As I said, it's pretty much almost a deja vu of what happened last year. He was running when he got hit on the first lap, and he recovered to 6th, although actually that was because there wasn't that many cars left in that race. But Roke has recovered so far up to P11. He's just outside the points. He does have definitely a chance of points so far as he passes Jones, who's actually going to be pitting pretty soon. As Volker is lapping slower cars, as he's lapping his old teammate Mackenzie. And as we look at all the cars coming through, so what happened actually to Mackenzie? He dropped positions actually. We're looking at Mackenzie, and oh yeah, he went, oh dear, oh no, dear me. When it rains it pours. And a mistake, oh wow, he actually nearly gets collected by the Williams as it rejoined, but Mackenzie making a very unusual mistake. You don't see many people making mistakes around that corner. That is very, very unusual, and that is how he avoided contact with Felix Sonntag there. I have no idea. That was unbelievably close. Whew. But yeah, as I said, it's been a terrible race. I've said it about 5,000 times, but Renault have had a god-awful race, and it's not getting any better. Now here's Roberto Gamba battling with the Force India of Rolomoitin. This is the battle for 9th position. Gamba not quite being able to get through there with that Renault engine, and the pink Mercedes staying in front, although not for long, as Roberto Gamba is on the inside. And Moitin could be under pressure from George Roke here, who's not too far behind either. So Roke actually, despite getting hit on the first lap, could still be in with a chance of some points here. Be a pretty good recovery by him. Now Laura Chung is in the pits for her final stop of the race. Definitely the earliest stop out of all the drivers so far. And so into the pits she comes. So there we are. And so into the pits, changing all 4 tyres on her car. And where will she come out onto the track? And the answer is, she comes out outside of the points. And the question is, what position will she come out of the pits? And it looks like P12. So it's in clear air as well. Now here is Franco Lopez, who's gradually closed up to the back of Joel Hutter, who's been held up. I think, is this behind? Actually, is this Volker? This is Volker. This is actually the battle position, and yes, it is. Volker struggling as Hutter under pressure from the back of Lopez, who's got past him, and Lopez trying to get on the inside of Volker. It's going to be very close, and they avoid contact. And Hutter might try and get back past Lopez here, and he doesn't. But Franco Lopez does make it through up into 3rd position, and a great battle there. Joel Hutter really losing out badly to Lopez, and a good battle between the 2 Mercedes here. This obviously helps Willers behind, so I think Willers will certainly have the podium at least. And actually Volker is pinning this lap, as there was a car into the pits as well. I think that was Etienne Jones who comes in for his final stop of the race. But a great battle this. This is for the podium positions. Of course, Volker seemingly struggling on these tyres, and actually he is obviously going to be pitting this lap. So Willers is 17 seconds behind Carr. So it looks like, I think, so Carr will come up behind Willers, it looks like, but I think Carr's definitely just going to go past Willers pretty quickly. Now Roke has actually closed up to the back of Rolomoitin. This is the battle for 9th position, and Roke is in the slipstream of the Hungarian, and it looks like he's going to go past him. And look at the speed the Haas has got down the front straight there, and he's going to have the move done, I think. Side by side between the two, 318 kilometers an hour, just about 200. Roke on the inside, and that is the move done. Bob's your uncle. Good work there. Now here is Lopez all over the back of Volker, but he must know that Volker is pitting this lap. But clearly Volker's struggling really badly on those tyres, and looks like he's going to try it on the inside. Lopez, he's not quite alongside Volker, so he might dip in and then dip out, unless Lopez does a late move, and he does, and Lopez is going to go for it. No time to waste, and Lopez makes it through past Volker, as Volker will now be coming into the pits for his final stop of the race, which in he comes right now. So now Lopez will take P2. Volker now down, well, out of the podium positions, but let's see where he will finish. But so Willer's already gone past, so Willer's already closing up to the back of these guys. So it looks like Willer's is going to have at the very least second. Whether or not he will have, well, if he'll get the win, I'm not sure. I don't think he will get it, but you never know. But as we look at Volker coming, changing all 4 tyres, he's out. And let's see, will he come out in any traffic? So he's behind Willows. Franco Gamba actually right now is in P6, so Franco Gamba having a very good race for Haas. And he's definitely performed very well so far this season. Actually there, Franco Gamba coming onto the front straight now. I think Volker will come out ahead of him, which will be important for him because he needs to be in clear air. And he is, so there we go. So he's now into P5. Is Florian Volker. Now he'll go after and see if he can finish ahead of his teammate and Hutter. And actually, speaking of it, both of these guys will be pitching this lap. And actually, here's Willows, who's right up to the back of them now. As they've been battling so much, that's allowed Willows to catch up. But both of these two, and that's perfect for Joseph Willows, as he will go past them. I think he'll probably have at least the podium secured. Doesn't need to worry about overtaking them because he knows that they're both going to have to pit. Although will Willows actually close up to the back of Hutter? Coming towards the end of the back straight. I'm not sure. He's not quite in the slipstream. I think he's quite close enough. Is he? He's nearly there. Just need to be a little bit closer. But as he comes into the hairpin, Willows, he will take second place. As Hutter actually does move to the right and tries to briefly defend from Hutter, but he doesn't. Sorry, Hutter tries to defend from Willows, but Matha Lopez is in, and so will Hutter. But the question is, when will actually Armar Carr pit? I imagine he'll pit probably in a couple of laps' time, I'd say. But Lopez is in, Hutter is in as well. Who's going to win this pit battle? It probably will still be Lopez, I'd say. But he comes in first, into his pit stall. Roland Moitin is in for his final stop as well. He's come out of the pits in 12th position. So Lopez is in, 2 or 4 tyres, pretty quick stop. Hutter has put his new tyres on, and yet Lopez still in front. Pretty quick stop by both. And there we go, they continue on their way. Actually, Volker is going to come out, it looks like, ahead of them. I think it's going to be close, heading towards the first corner, and I think Volker's going to get it, and yes, he is. Volker is ahead of both Lopez and Hutter, so the undercut, well, I say undercut-ish, I guess. It's worked for Volker, but the question is, will both Lopez and Hutter close up to the back of Volker towards the end of the race? That will be interesting to see. Car's still going, so he's going to be pitting for another couple laps or so, like I did suspect. At the moment, Roke actually in 8th position, doing very well. But of course, I believe he has to pit one more time though, so maybe he wishes he could probably stay on track. But you never. But we'll see what happens when he pits. This is a battle between the two Saubers of Gomez, and oh, that was close. And he goes over the curve there, Tomaselli, as Gomez goes past his teammate there. Tomaselli really struggling at this point in the race. But I think Lopez is definitely going to go after Volker pretty soon. Now here is Jones battling with Evan Byrne, who, as I said, had a terrible race. And Jones is on the inside, is going to make the move stick. The gap is 15 seconds to Carl and Willows. So Willows has reeled it in a bit. So Carl will come out of the pits behind Willows. But I believe Carr is just going to absolutely zoom past. So the two Williams battling here. As I think that was Campana going past Sontag there. So there we are. We're looking at the German driver of Florian Volker in the Mercedes right now, running on the podium, running in P3. But he's got Franco Lopez hot on his heels, and possibly even Hutter too. Those two were quite close. The gap about 1.7 seconds, but Lopez will be just biding his time, waiting for it to happen. So he comes through turn 1, turn 2, now into turn 3. Hutter is fallen a bit off actually the back of Lopez, so I don't know if he might be in contention or not. But I think I saw Franco Gambo, who is there, is going to be pitting this lap as well. Here we are looking at Titkoff on the back of Tomaselli. This is the battle to once again not be last, because of course there's 21 cars left in this race. Nicholas Gao, as a reminder, is the only driver who has retired from this race. So yeah, as we're looking at these two battling, as there's a pit call, I believe that is for Franco Gamba, as Thomas City goes very wide, and Tikoff might take advantage here. And yep, he's through up into 20th position. Now into the pits does come George Roque for his final stop of the race, so it is a 3-stop for him. Although I suppose technically it's a 2-stop because of that wing, because of lap 1, but he comes in anyway. It's been a good recovery from Roque. It's definitely been, you could probably say it's a better recovery from last year, even though he's not going to finish as high as 6th, but there's been more cars, so Roque's had to deal with passing a lot of drivers, so he's going to come out, I think it looks like just outside of the top 10. He's going to come out, looks like behind Moichin and De Rossa, I think, as they battle towards the first corner. And yes, as he's down in 12th place, Roque, but he's still got a chance of points if these two keep battling hard with each other, as Moichin trying to go around the outside of De Rossa. That's never really going to work, but Roque will be sensing blood here. He's coming out right behind these two. He's going to be on much fresher tyres than both of them, who are going to the end. But actually I want to see when Carr is coming in too. I don't think he's quite coming in yet. He must be coming next lap or the lap after. Actually, Frege Gamma, speaking of Haas, actually comes into the pits on this lap as well. So we'll see where he comes out on the circuit. So as we look at him coming through, right now running in a very solid 6th place. He's run in the top 10 the whole race. I know he's run by himself and has performed pretty well, I have to say. Just so far this season, he's generally performed very well. Changing all 4 tyres, and he comes out of the pits. So where would he come out on the circuit? He's behind Hutzer. I think he'll just stay in P6 really, which has been his position as he comes back out onto the circuit, and he will come out in, oh no, P7 actually, behind Nautunen, although I think I saw that Nautunen was pitting. Now here is Moichin, who is passing De Rossa for 10th position on the back straight. Now I imagine Roque's probably on the back of this too, and Moichin I think is through past, and he's surely through, and yes he is. And I think, did Roque get past De Rossa as well? I didn't quite see. I think I saw a brief change of position, but I think Roque has not quite passed De Rossa yet, and the answer is he hasn't. But Roque is right there on fresh tyres, so it looks like he's definitely going to be contention for some points. Roque going to try and go around the outside of the McLaren. It's not quite going to work, is it? Nope. He's never going to work that way, so he's going to have to wait and make another move. Probably maybe into turn 4 maybe? We'll see. He's in the slipstream of the McLaren, and he's surely going to pass him soon because De Rossa is definitely struggling. And he's going to be in the slipstream, and he's not going to be quite close enough here, I don't think, unless to make a move, maybe, I don't know. In the slipstream, so he's going to close up right into the corner, and comes out, but he's in the slipstream, but he's not made the move stick there. He's not going to quite do it yet. So he's all over the back of the Polish driver, following him through 270 Ks, nearly 280, as they come through. Roque all over the back of De Rossa, and as they come through the double left, heading towards turn 10, turn 11, now heading towards turn 12 and 13. Roque, is he going to try and make a move on the inside? De Rossa moves to the right and defends from Roque as they come through turns 12, now through in turn 13. Now on to the back straight, and Roque is just so much quicker than De Rossa. Just look at how much speed he's able to take, and he's already passing De Rossa. Look at that. Look how quickly he's on the inside of the McLaren, heading towards the hairpin, and he's through up into 11th position as they head towards the hairpin, although Roque might try and swipe in front. Will he into the corner? The answer is yes, and oh, De Rossa makes contact with the back of Roque there. And will De Rossa try and get back on the inside of Roque? And the answer is no, he doesn't. Roque finally does have the position, although it probably took him a little bit longer than he would have wanted, but he's finally made it out to 11th, and now he'll go after Roland Moichin for 10th position, that final points paying position. Here is Hutzer all over the back, and they almost make contact with Lopez, who has actually not seemingly got past got up to Volker as much as I thought he would, but Hutzer really tried a very, very late move onto the back of him, but it was never really on, not enough room, so he has to hold position. Now here is Carr, who's finally coming in for his final stop of the race. Now he's definitely going to come up behind Joseph Willows, but the question is, will he get past him? I think he will, but you never know. Williams could put up a staunch defence, but I don't know. We'll see. We will very much see. So Carr changing all 4 tyres, and let's see. So he's behind Willows actually by quite a way. It's actually bigger than I thought. Actually, the gap must have come down more to less than 15 seconds, probably nearly 10 seconds, I reckon. But will Carr get to the back of Willows? We've got 11 laps to go of this Chinese Grand Prix. It looks set to be a Ferrari win, But which one is it going to be? Is the big question. Is the $1,000,000 question. Now here is Roke, who's caught up to the back of Moitian, and he's set to pass him, it looks like, for 10th position. He's on the inside of the Hungarian, and he's set to overtake him for 10th position. Roke on the inside, he surely should have the move done into the hairpin. Is he up into 10th position? Yes, he is. And so far, a great recovery from George Roke. He's now back up into the points from his incident on the first lap. A great recovery by the British driver. Now this is a battle for P16. Mackenzie, the Renaults, I mean, they absolutely love the manners, as Evan Byrne will know from the Russian Maxim Tikhov in the last race in Bahrain. But the Manners love battling with the Renaults, although the Renaults probably don't imagine love battling. Oh, what on earth is... Whoa, what? I have no idea what just happened there. That was Volker getting stuck in there. And actually, Lopez has passed Volker, who was stuck behind this battle going on, and Volker has lost the podium to Lopez. Oh my word. And there was actually contact between, I think that was Roberto Gamba that was battling there with the manner of Jones, and no, sorry, it wasn't. It was actually De Rosa, and Franco Lopez took advantage of that and took third position. And Volker will be pretty fuming at the way he's lost that. Now here is Jones, who is behind this battle. This is between Parachki and Mackenzie as he's losing a position, and so now Tikhov trying to make a move on the inside. Here's Gomez trying to make a move on the Hassi, trying to unlap himself. He does indeed go back past Franco Gamba, and this one was just almost immediately, so that was just pretty much pointless. Sontag right now running in 20th. There's Roke, who's going to have to let this is the battle for the lead. Here we go. Now this is the battle for the lead. So Carr has closed up almost immediately to Willows. The gap was quite big after the stop, but look at how much quicker Carr is. He's just going to go past Willows with absolute ease as they head towards the hairpin. And so with 6 laps to go, Carr is set to take the lead of this race back off Joseph Willows. So they head towards the hairpin. And yep, look at that. There was a lock up there. I think that was Roke possibly that locked up, I think. Yeah, it was, as Carr's about to lap him pretty quickly. But oh my word. But wow, that pace from Carr is absolutely insane. Now here is the battle. This is for P4. Volker, who lost out to traffic to Franco Lopez, who looks to inherit the podium off of him. And this battle for P6. And oh, Joel Hutter's got an issue. No, Joel Hutter has got a transmission problem. He's got a mechanical failure. I know it's actually, I think that's the brakes he's got. And Joel Hutter has just missed the pits. So the question is, just as I was saying, he was in the battle, will he make it back into the pits? Will he make it back to the pits? Is the big question. And oh my word, Joel Hutter, he was in the battle with Volker, set to take P5, and I'm not sure if he'll still take it or not. It could be close, but I don't know how far away Franco Gamba is behind him, but he's definitely going to close up a lot. I think he probably will pass him by the time he gets to the pits, because he'll be running at half the speed that everyone else is. Fortunately, he's got no cars around him to overtake him and everything to hold him up. I just saw a Manor in the background there, but he won't catch him until probably the back straight. But Joel Hutter having to go around this whole lap with the damaged car, with just 4 laps to go. Look at that, the car has got the gap to Willows to 5 seconds. That is ridiculous. And Lopez is about 5 seconds off Willows, so I wonder if Lopez could actually maybe catch Willows before the end. It might be close, that is for sure. But we will see. That will be very interesting to see if that does happen or not. But I unfortunately didn't catch the gap there between Hutter and Franco Gamba behind, but he's coming down the back straight at half the speed everyone else is. Fortunately, as I said, he's got no cars anywhere near him, and he'll make it back to the pits before that Manor catches up with him. And there's several other cars coming through as well, but Hutter will be very disappointed. He could have been on for a top 4, but it looks like he'll still get the points, because I think he is going to make it to the pits. Unless he pulls off just before he gets in. Is he going to make it? The answer is yes, he's going to make it to the pits. So Hutter will still finish this race, which is a blessed relief for him. And so there we are. So he comes into the pits at last for his definitely an unscheduled stop, that is for sure. So he's P5, but it will, I think, it'd be P6. I'm pretty sure Franco Gamba is going to overtake him. And the Red Bull crew aren't ready for him. The Red Bull crew, despite the fact he had the problem after he passed the pits, are not ready for him. So, well, I'm pretty sure Franco Gamba is going to overtake him now. Oh my word. Hutter will be fuming at that. So they had a whole lap to get ready, and they still weren't ready for him.
Yourself for the first gear.
So they changed all 4 tyres, and a very slow stop for Joel Hutter. And where will he come out? Will he still be ahead of Frank Gamma? I don't know where he is. And no, he won't, because Gamma is going to take P5 off of Joel Hutter here. So Frank Gamma, what a result that would be for Haas if he gets P5. But Hutter will be on much fresher tyres and will put the hammer down for the final 3 laps of this race. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. As here is Roberta Gamma battling with Laura Chung, and I think she's about to pass Chung for 7th position. And yes, Chung down to 8th position. I think she should have finished 7th anyway. But she's definitely on the weakest tyres out of all these guys, and she's going to be gobbled up because Gamma's passed, and now Tiernan is going to pass her as well. I really feel for Chung. She definitely should have finished at least 7th. Had she not had that spin, she would have been in a very comfortable position. But she is going to be passed by now Tiernan for 9th position, and I reckon even Roke could possibly get her as well. As Chung going to try and go back past now Tiernan into the hairpin. The answer is she's going to try, but it's not going to work. And so now she's down to 9th position. And now look at this, Roke is all over the back, so Chung could be down to 10th at this point if Roke can get past. Oh, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But we are on the final lap of this race, and Almar Carr is your race leader, and it looks like it will be a non-Mercedes win here in China. And so far the Ferraris have definitely outpaced the Mercedes, and the strategy from Carr worked out very well. The 3-stop was the perfect strategy for him because he really had the pace. The car was unbelievably quick today, and so he's definitely deserving this win. So Willows will take 2nd place, and that means actually with Willows taking 2nd place, it means he will have finished 2nd at all 3 races so far. So he's got in the silver medal position 3 times. He just needs to do a little bit more to get that gold. And he did have, of course, he did have the lead after the stop, but he was just never going to stop Carr. I knew he was going to close up to him, but I didn't expect him to close up that quickly. Look at the gap, 10 seconds. Actually, Lopez has closed the gap to Willows to about 4, but it's not going to be enough. So Willows, on his 1 stop, did exceptionally well as well. You have to give credit to him too. And Carr definitely did have to sweat a little bit because it wasn't quite as easy as he probably would have maybe made out. But anyway, here we go. Almar Carr coming round the set to come around the final corner, turn 16 for the 56th and final time. And Almar Carr is going to come round and take his first victory of the season for Ferrari in the 2018 OC season. Congratulations to him. What a performance he has put in today. So he takes the win. He takes the gold medal. Tomaselli in last position. Now Tiernan 7th. Roberto Gamma 8th. Roke did actually pass Chung on the last lap for 9th position. So Chung, which has 3 laps to go, was set to take 7th and has dropped down to 10th. Willows is 2nd. Lopez is in 3rd position. Rillamoichin just missing out on the points in 11th. Volker in 4th. Jones in 12th. He was actually in contention for the points for quite a while. But unfortunately just didn't quite have the pace to contain it at the end. But definitely quite a few stellar drives in this race. Roke for 1. I think Carr raced exceptionally well. Chung did have a lot of great battles throughout the race, but had she not had that spin, she definitely would have had 7th in the bag, that is for sure. De Rossa 13th, Evan Byrne 14th, terrible race for Renault. 50th place is Lean Campana for Williams. I mean, Williams had a pretty much invisible race. And it's Barachki 16th, not a great race for him either. Maxime Titkoff will finish in 17th position for Manor. He comes across the line. There's a battle actually behind. And as we look at it, and Gamba did hold off. What a performance by Frankie Gamba. Credit to him. He held off Hutter for 5th position. And you can see this was the battle coming towards the line. Hutter on much fresher tyres. And he tried to go around the outside. He just didn't quite have the run on Frankie Gamba towards the line. And Frankie Gamba, definitely one of the drivers of the day, holds on to 5th place ahead of Hutter. He would have had 6th, but thanks to that problem Hutter had, he inherited 5th and he held on. So fair play to Frankie Gamba. That is a fantastic defence from him. But there we are, that is the race over. So we'll take a look at the 4 results and the drivers and constructors standings. So Almar Carr winning ahead of Joseph Willis in 2nd, Franco Lopez in 3rd, Florian Volker in 4th, Frankie Gamba 5th, John Hutter 6th, the last car on the lead lap, with Thierry now Tiernan, Roberta Gamba, George Roke and Laura Chung completing the points. Chung still getting a point at least, but it could have been so many more. Roland Moysin in 11th, Almar Carr saying the fastest lap at 132.2. The rest of the order, Etienne Jones, Kirosima De Rossa, Evan Byrne, Lean Campana, Ennis Barachki, Maxime Titkoff, Felix Sontag, Jay McKenzie, Gabriel Gomez, Palio Tomaselli, and Miguel Escal, the only car to retire from this race. So 21 cars finishing. The reliability of these cars definitely a lot better than before. That is for sure. So now we'll take a look at the driver's standings. So Franco Lopez still leading, but the gap only 11 points to Joseph Willis to 2nd. Almar Carr only 7 points behind in third. As you know, that's 6 points, I should say. No, it is 7 actually, sorry. Florian Volker 4th, Hatzer in 5th, Galdan the 6th, Gamba up to 7th, Renault in 8th, now to 9th and Byrne 10th, Jim McKenzie in 11th. As we look at the rest of the order, Thomas Eddy 12th, Roberto Gamba 13th, Roke 14th, Prachki 15th, Ettinger 16th, Laura Chung getting off the board with 1 point, with Titkov, De Rosa, Campana, Sontag and Gomez so far the only drivers yet to score a point this season, but of course there is still many more races to go for them to score more points this season. So now take a look at the constructor standings. Ferrari leading ahead of Mercedes by just 5 points, and they are well ahead of Red Bull in 3rd position. Haas ahead of Force India in 4th position. That's a great start for the season for them so far. Force India 5th, Renault and 6th, McLaren up to 7th, Sauber 8th, Toros on 9th, Man in 10th. So Williams so far the only team this season yet to score a point. So there we go. That was the Chinese Grand Prix. A pretty exciting race, I have to say, with a new win armour car for Ferrari. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to, as usual, over drive the day and give the racing out of 10. Check out all our links in the description, our Discord, our merch, Twitter, everything. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you for the next round, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku. See you there.